Project 2025, Changing Generations.
Project 2025, ANTUS, Changing Generations.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a story of two South Africas. You have one, a nation just brimming with ambition, but it's facing a youth unemployment crisis of staggering proportions. And then you have the other, a nation on the very brink of a systemic solution, one that's designed to turn that exact crisis into a massive national opportunity.
All right, let's just jump right in with a number that really sets the stage, 1.2 million. That is how many applications our universities get every single year. And look, that's not just a statistic. It's a real, powerful measure of the hope and the ambition that's just burning inside South Africa's youth.
But here's the thing, that ambition immediately slams into a pretty brutal reality. We've only got about 200,000 university spots available. So the system, well, it creates this automatic bottleneck. It means for every 6 young people dreaming of getting a degree, 5 of them are turned away. Their qualifications, their potential, it just becomes irrelevant because of a simple lack of space. And that educational dead end? It flows directly into nothing short of a national economic catastrophe. A youth unemployment rate of 62.4%. You know, these aren't just people without jobs. This is generations of potential being systematically locked out of the economy before they even get a chance to get their foot in the door. As you're about to see, these aren't just some abstract numbers on a page. This is a crisis with a very real, very high cost. It's a crisis of broken dreams that sends these profound ripple effects out, touching every single part of our society and our economy.
Yeah, this crisis doesn't exist in a vacuum. It sends shockwaves through every single level of society. For students and their families, it's just despair, it's wasted savings. For corporations, it's a 30,000 Rand cost per hire, where over half the time you end up with a skills mismatch. Our educational institutions are just buckling under the strain. And the bottom line for the government and society? It's a recipe for economic stagnation and social instability. To put it simply, nobody is winning here. So the big question is, how do you even start to solve a problem that's so deeply woven into the fabric of the nation? Well, you don't just patch the cracks. You have to introduce a completely new system, one that's designed to create clarity where right now there's just chaos. Okay, so at the very heart of this new system is something called SkillsPassport. The whole idea is to move way beyond a simple matric certificate and create what they call a single source of truth. Think of it like a living, breathing portfolio that starts way back in grade 7 and just builds and builds over a person's entire life, capturing their true skills, their personality, and their actual potential. And this is not just another standardized test, not at all. The whole process kicks off with culturally relevant, story-based assessments to build a genuinely comprehensive profile. From that point, it gives continuous guidance throughout a young person's journey. And this is so crucial. It's all accessible on a mobile phone, even on WhatsApp, meeting young people exactly where they are.
But listen, a revolutionary platform. It doesn't matter how powerful it is, it's really just an idea. To turn that vision into a reality on the ground, you need absolutely flawless execution. You need a very specific kind of expert who can actually bridge that gap between the technology and the very people it's supposed to serve. You know, that idea of action over words is just so key here. A corporation can have a massive CSR budget, but turning that money into tangible, life-changing outcomes for people, that takes more than just capital. It demands a partner on the ground who can navigate both the boardroom and the community.
And not a central partner, that critical link, is Have and Share. They're led by Claudina Have and Share, and they are the accredited SkillsPassport implementation expert, the strategic engine that's ready to orchestrate this entire transformation by connecting corporate investment directly to youth development, right there on the ground.
And the need for a strategic partner like Have and Share becomes crystal clear when you compare the two approaches. You see, the old way often involves these disjointed projects, charitable spending with really unclear outcomes. The Have and Share advantage is fundamentally different. It's a strategic, managed investment that aligns directly with business ROI to build a real end-to-end talent pipeline. Honestly, it's the difference between hoping for an impact and actually engineering one.
All right, now let's talk about the payoff, because the return on this kind of strategic investment isn't just about the next quarterly report. No, this is about securing the next generation and the one after that. The business case here is absolutely staggering. By assessing over 1 million young people, corporations could save 2.1 billion Rand in recruitment costs alone. The total economic value it could generate is projected at 7.6 billion Rand. That delivers a return on investment of somewhere between 300 and 700%. I mean, this completely transforms the CSI budget from just an expense into one of the highest performing investments a company could possibly make.
And those incredible corporate returns are matched by profound long-term benefits for the entire nation. See, this isn't just about finding employees. This is about fueling genuine economic growth, which in turn fosters social cohesion and starts to finally tackle the deep-seated inequality that's holding the country back.
And this, right here, is where the impact becomes truly generational. Research actually shows that a successful intervention for just one young person, getting them into a stable, meaningful career, it doesn't just change their life. It positively impacts the next 2 to 3 generations. It effectively breaks those inherited cycles of poverty and unemployment. So all of this leaves South Africa's corporate leaders with a final, really provocative question. The technology exists, the implementation partner is ready to go, and the financial and the social returns are just undeniable. The only question left isn't whether to act, but which companies will have the courage and the foresight to lead this transformation and in doing so completely redefine the future of talent in this nation.
Project 2025. Aintus, Changing Generations.